First of all, we need to really make the SME space to understand that they have a role. They have a role to support the government to raise revenue. This role comes with a responsibility. Now, when we come now to the tax man, which is now KRA, how do you really engage? So that engagement level is very key. So we must strategize on engagement models. How do you want to bring them on the tax bracket? One is to simplify the process. Two is to create conducive atmosphere so that they are able to understand if they have concerns about paying taxes. Whom do they consult? I know you have regional offices. How do they consult without being penalized, for example? Number three is about having a very flexible tax education and support services. How do we get the SMEs to understand, even if you are to file your taxes online? I know, I really appreciated you. Government is focusing on automating most of their services. KRA has followed the suit. You have really redeemed yourself. You have worked well on that. When it comes to personality, training your team to be friendly to the taxpayers, you have scored on that highly. But you see, a lot needs to be done. So what do we need to do differently? Continuous engagement through how do we voice out and pack the tax policies to our SMEs so that they get to understand them. We need to have tax champions in this country. It begins even with the county government. Let the governor go out, even with his team or her team, let them talk about paying taxes as an obligation. I'm telling you, once we change the people's mindset, we will not even struggle. We need to have a policy that graduates the informal sector to formal. How do we formalize so that we expand our tax base? And how to expand on tax base is not just a sole responsibility for the government. This is a responsibility for private sector. So open your doors for us. All the private sector players need to take part in this. In fact, it should be our rallying cry so that you provide the technical expertise, but it is us who know our members. It is us who know the cottage industries. It is us who know exporters. Yes, the other time I gave you an example. As NCCI, we deal with all exporters in this country. And that is where the money lies. We know all the landlords. We know the players, wholesalers. When it comes to warehouses, we know all of them. Give us space even to do for you, even importers, due diligence for importers, so we can do verification for importers. We will be able to identify for you where there are gaps, where we lose revenues. So those are the policies which I think we really need to talk about. So it should be a household thing. We need to take the tax issue or tax discussion to be a household discussion. Through that, we'll not even see people closing shops when they hear of KRA. And I want to believe it will be KRA, Kenya Revenue Services, not Kenya Revenue Authority. Because people tag that, the word authority, thinking that these are now law enforcement team. So we need to be friendly to the business community so that they open up and make even referrals. I want a situation where a business person will make a referral to his colleague or her colleague. Please go and pay your taxes. Those are the ambassadors I was talking about. And it should be voluntary. Let's support this government to drive our economy to the desired level. And for us to reach that desired level, all of us must pay taxes. We must pay taxes, but government must also, what should follow those taxes is quality service delivery. So all of us must be champions. I call upon all SMEs to be champions wherever they are, so that we pay taxes, but we demand for quality service delivery.